Hey everyone, hopefully all are well and good and having a very good day. Welcome back to Shri FC where I discuss on Manchester United versus Chelsea at Old Trafford. When I was a small kid going to school and Marta scored the winner, I enjoyed myself. We have had some very good days at Old Trafford, but I never knew we'll never win at Old Trafford again. But I think now is the time to change that, and I think we are under pressure to do that. While Manchester United for Ten Hag is a massive game, I'm going to discuss the match in detail, covering a lot of things. So please, people, do hit the like, subscribe, and also your opinion means a lot to me. So please let me know your prediction, your feedback, and your opinion. Coming out of Manchester United, and it's been an absolutely chaotic season, but not in terms of point tally or everything, but what's happening behind the scene and the performances. Because in terms of point tally, see, nobody of us expected him to win title race. I think if anyone was doing that, I think that's too premature because United had a lot still work to be done. They still had a lot to learn under Ten Hag. But what I do expect in Manchester United was I wanted to see more identity, even as a rival. I wanted to see what Ten Hag is going to do this season because last season he overachieved. United, for me, I predicted him to be 5th or 6th last season, but he got them top 4, won the Carabao Cup. So it was a good season. So we wanted to see the progress they make, the signings and everything. Onana was a good signing. You see Mason Mount. So there was an idea, Hoyland, what they're trying to do, but on the pitch is never reflected. Even in the victories United have had against Fulham, they weren't really good, but Bruno Fernandes scored a beautiful goal. You go on to victory against Everton, it was a beautiful bicycle kick by Garnacho. Yes, United were clinical, but it wasn't a great sustainable performance. You go on to victory against Brentford, where McTominay stepped up. So the performances have been not really great. They're already out of the Champions League. It's going to take a miracle for them to qualify, but it's still not a competition. I think I will judge United because I did not think they were going to go too far. But in the Premier League, they still have a chance to qualify for top 5. I expected them to win the top 5 this season, and they can still finish because in terms of point tally, they're 5 points above us, and they can beat us and end our UCL qualification hopes. And they still have a very good chance near to Newcastle, Tottenham. But the problem is the way they are playing for me is not sustainable. Erik Ten Hag, for me, see, it's my opinion, and I'm not criticizing any Manchester United fan. You know better about the club than me, but I think you should not sack him. I think for Manchester United, it's not going to work any wonders. You have given him so much backing. You've given him so much his type of players. The next manager comes, you have to again sell, again buy. It's not going to work. This season is already done. Give him the chance to rectify. And if he can't do that, then at the end of the season, you replace him. But for Erik Ten Hag to win the trust of the fans back, he has to start getting results. And I think this is a very pressure game for him at home. Coming to Chelsea, and I think we have been tipsy-turvy this season, up and down, up and down. We drew 4-4 against Manchester City, we beat Tottenham, and before that, we had a beautiful performance against Arsenal at home. But we have been our own worst enemy. We should have beaten Arsenal, but that day the goalkeeper made an absolutely comical error, and we dropped points in a match we should have won 3 or 4-0. Then you go on to Brentford, we lost to them. Start of the season, we only had 5 points from our first 6 games. We have built a bit of form now. We have 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. We are going far in the Carabao Cup, but still we have 5 points behind Manchester United. In itself, it's an embarrassment with the way it's going on at United. You go on to the table, we still are very far away from Aston Villa, Tottenham, but I think we can catch them. But for that, we need to put a bit of run of victories. I think we have played really well this season in terms of football, but we have been our own worst enemy where we have not converted our chances. We have defensively made a very comical error which has bite us in the back. Even against Brighton, we were nice and solid. We got a 2-0 lead, but then we easily allowed them to get 2-1. We did not put our energy after 2-0. We should have gone for 3-4. We did not do that, and a B team Brighton came back, and in the end we got the win, but we could have been more mature. I think for me, see, whatever finishes season, I'm going to back Pochettino. I think there's no point now in terms of going up, taking managers away, bringing new. I want to see stability at this club, and I believe in this project. I see so many young players, and I think as fans we have to be calm. But one thing we cannot also do is let the standards go away. I still want us to at least minimum try to qualify for Europa League, and I think for that we have to put some results together now. We have a good fixture list coming up after Manchester United, Everton, Wolves, Palace, Luton. So I think it's time for us to go above in the league now and get some victories in the trot. Now we have had enough time to adjust to the environment, the players to get to know each other. Nkunku will be back in, I think, next fixture after United. Lovely will be back in 1 or 2 weeks as well. Reece James is now back with suspension. It's time for us to put some run, and playing chaotic Manchester United right now, who are not really in good form, is a good way to get a victory and build some needed momentum for Chelsea and Mauricio Pochettino. Coming on to injury news, and first of all, coming on to Manchester United, the home team, I think they have also been really suffering from a lot of injury crisis, which doesn't get a lot talked about because they are in all chaos and all is good to go with the negative media. But as a Chelsea fan, see, I face a lot of injury crisis this season, which hasn't been highlighted by the media. So I will be hypocrite if I don't talk about Manchester United with the injuries they've suffered. Lisandro is a really important player. Mount, we knew at Chelsea as well, he was suffering from injuries last season, so he hasn't had a good start due to that. You go on to Diallo is out as well, Malacia is out, Evans is out. Mount is doubt for this game, but I can only see him coming from the bench, and Casemiro is a big miss as well for them. So I think in terms of injuries, it's not really been going good for Manchester United this season, and Martinez is a massive miss. Coming to us, and I thought everything is going good, but again everything is just started to go worse again. And nkunku will be back by next match, not this match. Lavey will be back in a bit more time, and Chukwuemeka we know still is out, Fofana still is out, Chilwell, Chaloba, and Gallagher is suspended due to his foolish 2 yellow cards that day. But I think Hugo Chukwu and Madueke are a big blow, because with both of them out now, I'm very worried of the bench strength we're going to have. Like, if we want to change the game against Manchester United, who do we bring on? Like, is going to be attackers, Broha only available on the bench for us to change the game, and then some academy graduates. So I think we won't have a lot on the bench to change the game. So again, injuries started creeping up, and with so many matches in December, it's going to get tricky for Poch to manage the squad really well, and some rotation will be needed to happen by Pochettino. Coming on a likely 11 and going with the home team Manchester United, it's been all chaos for them with Jadon Sancho. We know what's going on. He's not going to be back anytime soon. Varane has been dropped. Now, tactically, I can understand that might be because you don't want to play a right-footed player at LCB, but Lindelof is no better. Johnny Evans has been injured, and even fit, I will still prefer Varane over him. I think Varane defensively is much better and brings you solidity and provides the team a bit of leadership. And I think if Utd Ten Hag is a smart person, he has to bring Varane back in this game for me. Luke Shaw is back, which already provides you a better build-up. Wan-Bissaka at the right, because defensively, Dalot is nowhere near Wan-Bissaka. And then I think it has to be Maino and Amrabat. As a Chelsea fan, I want Amrabat and McTominay. I don't want Maino to start, because I think that works in our favour. Because if you play McTominay, we are going to have whole midfield to enjoy ourselves. And if United are a smart club, I think they go with two proper midfielders in Amrabat, Maino, and then they play Anthony at the right, Bruno, Garnacho, and the forward in Haaland. Haaland is a sort of striker. As Chelsea fan, I get a bit scared of a defense to play, because I think Haaland has that pace to trouble us and break our press, while I think Anthony is a much better player at right position than Rashford. And I think Rashford, the way he has been playing right now, is better to drop him. Garnacho has been putting his socks off, really playing well and should be playing. And Bruno is still, for me, the most dangerous player for Manchester United. That brings me to ourselves now, and I think we have to get the lineup right. And I think this is the most likely lineup we'll go, because we have no other option. But in terms of the way we place players, I think it's going to be very important. Now coming to us, and I think it's a very important match, and I think it's important to get the lineup right. But again, with the injuries, we don't even got a lot of options now to really change it. So I think we're going to go with a regular lineup with Sanchez, the goalkeeper, who made some outstanding save in the second half to keep us in the game against Brighton. It was 3-1 at that time, 3-2. It could easily have been 3-3 for Brighton, if not for Robert Sanchez. Then I think James is going to be at the right. A lot of fans want to see Cucurella at the left, but I'll still go with Colwill. He provides a bit more aerial threat, and United are very much dangerous from set pieces with McTominay, Maguire, the threat they bring. I know Colwill did not do well against João Pedro in the set piece in the corner kick, but we don't have a lot on the bench to rely. And Colwill had a good game overall, so why drop him, man? Let him build some momentum now, and then go with Thiago Silva and Badiashile for me in the middle, having 3 games together under the belt, building good partnership, and this is still the best centre-back partnership we've got, with both of them calm and composed in the ball, helping us play from the press. And then I think it's going to be Enzo and Caicedo, because we have no other option. See, Enzo has been really good this season, but because he's an easy target, 105 million signing, let's criticize him with no context. So I don't really give a damn with that. Caicedo for me as well. I'm a lot of patience with Caicedo. I wanted him, and he's a very good midfielder. But so far, I think he's still adjusting to the environment. But we have not seen the same Caicedo we saw at Brighton, because he's adjusting to his teammates, new surrounding. But I think hopefully in this match we see that Caicedo, because if we can see that Caicedo, I think there's no doubt we're going to win this match. And going on to the forwards, I think Sterling is going to be at the right, Mudryk is going to be the left, Palmer in the middle, and the forward is going to be Jackson. Jackson had a very good game against Brighton in terms of hold-up play, so that is really good to see. And Palmer is going to have a good middle around himself and could dominate the middle, with United giving a lot of space, so he's really important. I wanted Sterling at the left, because I think against Wan-Bissaka, my only scare with Mudryk is Mudryk will try to take him on at every opportunity, and that will become very predictable, while Sterling is really experienced. But now we have got no other option, and I think if Mudryk has a good game, if we really toast Wan-Bissaka, I think it's a very certain win for us. So I think Mudryk Wan-Bissaka could be a really good battle. Sterling, Luke Shaw, and then Jackson up top. With the predictions, and see, Before going on to the prediction, I think it's a really important game, and I think it's going to be a tight game. I cannot see tactically, mentally, both ways. I cannot see a big draw here, 2-2, 3-3. It's going to be a tight game. See, Manchester United this season, in terms of way they are playing, they leave a lot of space in the midfield, which we really enjoy. Now, why we do well against a big size in terms of City, Tottenham, Arsenal, even Brighton, because Brighton plays some good football, is we get that space in the middle of the park, the small bit of spaces we enjoy. Palmer can run behind, enjoy the spaces. Sterling can make the run in behind. Now, United are not exactly a really attacking side, but they're still a very progressive side, which allows us that space. So it's going to be interesting what Erik Ten Hag does. Now, if Erik Ten Hag in this game, let's say, plays McTominay over a Maino or a Amrabat, or if he really plays Rashford at the right side, and along with that, I think if he goes to kill at Old Trafford, he goes to attack us, is going to work right in a favor. Old Trafford is a very, very, you can say, large pitch compared to Stamford Bridge, a lot of space to work in, and I think that's going to work in our favor. If Erik Ten Hag is a bit more defensive, which I won't want to see, but I think if Erik Ten Hag wants to get a result against us, he will try to be defensive, and that's where we struggle. Our biggest problem this season has been we just don't score enough goals. We don't put the game away. We could easily have put Arsenal under the bed. We did not. We suffered for it. Even against Tottenham, against 9 men, before we got the goal, we should have wrapped the game up a lot earlier. You go on to Manchester City, I think we conceded a really sloppy goal. You go on to matches against Aston Villa, even Brighton, we concede a lot of sloppy goals and we don't put the game away. That's just a bit of weakness. So for Manchester United, as much as I stay more in the game, is going to be trouble for us. But on the other hand, why I think we're going to win this game is because the space United leave behind, and as a footballing side, as a structure side, we are way better than Manchester United right now. I think in terms of the football Pochettino is playing, the way we are playing, the personnel we have got, I think the style we are playing, we are much more accustomed to play high pressing football, progressive football, while Manchester United right now are caught in two worlds to what to do. The players look a bit in disarray under the manager, and I think if we can keep United quiet for the first 20-30 minutes and get the lead, I think Old Trafford is going to be a bit more negative, toxic, and we can really enjoy ourselves. But the start of the game is really important. I'm backing ourselves to win, but just not because I'm a Chelsea fan. I really believe we should be beating this Manchester United side. I won't be surprised if they beat us again, I'm saying, but I think we should be beating this Manchester United side. There's no excuses now, and I think it's not going to be any pretty win. I think we're going to get a 2-0 lead in this match by half time, but United are going to get one back, but we're going to keep the lead and get away with a 2-1 win. So do let me know your predictions, your opinion, and your feedback on the game. Up the Chelsea, and hopefully we can beat our barren run at Old Trafford.